While we wait for tariffs, one widely anticipated number are Tesla deliveries. And for that, we'll turn to Phil LeBeau. Hey, Phil.
Hey, Carl, we knew these would not be good-looking numbers, and they are worse than expected. 336 and 68 vehicles. 336,068 vehicles delivered in the first quarter for Tesla. For a point of reference, the street was expecting, the street account was expecting, based on analyst expectations, a 371. Most were saying 350 to 360. Now they're coming in at 336,068. Production of 362,615. So for some point of reference here, you're going back to Q2, maybe Q1 of 2022 in terms of the last time that they had production this or deliveries this low for one quarter. So again, Tesla deliveries worse than expected at just over 336,000 deliveries in the first quarter. Guys, I'll send it back to you.
That's horrible. Can I just ask Phil, how about the Cybertruck? How's that doing? You got a little inventory there in the Cybertruck?
Well, you want to know something, Jim? I saw a video over the weekend of Cybertrucks that were parked, waiting in a lot in Paramus, New Jersey. Now, does that mean that they've been sold and they're waiting for delivery? There were a lot of them. When I saw the video that was sent to me by my producer, I said, holy mackerel. Wow. Now, they do this where they bunch them up and then they deliver them. And when you've reached them in the past, they've said, well, don't worry about it. We're going to be delivering these vehicles. Their Q1 delivery numbers in the U.S. for the Cybertruck, I'd have to go back and check, but they're not huge. I want to say 7,000, something like that. Something like 2,500 a month, roughly speaking, were delivered. But overall, this 336 number, I understand what people are going to say. You won't see a ton of pressure here because if you're into Tesla, you're into AI, robotics, autonomous vehicle technology.
Yeah, I've been doing that.
That's the future. Yeah. But in the meantime, you've still got to go on the monthly numbers, and the delivery numbers for the first quarter below what the street was expecting.
Hey, Phil, is BYD now officially the largest maker of EVs in the world, too? Or I know because they do hybrids, but they're delivering more overall.
Yeah, they were nipping at Tesla's heels last year. I think they did 7.6 million. Or I'm sorry, 1.76 million, and Toyota or Tesla, excuse me, did 1.79. I mean, they were real close last year. So now you're looking at them based on just what I'm seeing out of China. I wouldn't be surprised if they've surpassed them. But again, you bring up a great point, David. I hear this all the time from people. They say, "Did you see the BYD delivery numbers?" A huge chunk of those delivery numbers are hybrids. They're not pure electric vehicles. So you're comparing apples and oranges there.
Right.
Meantime, Phil, some of the numbers out of European countries for March. France down 37, Sweden down 68, Finland down 39. Are we expecting any kind of snapback in April or May?
Well, you will hear people over in Europe say the new Model Y, the Juniper, could be a difference maker. But that's been in that market now for more than a month. And you would think that you would see a greater snapback if it's going to be a difference maker. Look, we could be wrong. It could be a difference maker once you get the sales for April, May, and June. But when you have a country like Norway, I think the sales were down something like 11% there. I mean, that's a very savvy EV consumer in Norway. And that's long been a strength for Tesla. Very small market, not huge volume, but I think almost all of the vehicles they sell there are electric. And they embraced Tesla long before others. And, you know, the reports there are not encouraging.
Right. Yeah, market share in the EU for Tesla in pre-COVID was in the 30% range, and it's fallen to de minimis.
One last note, Carl. One last note. We crunched some numbers. Q1, it looks like Tesla's market share is going to come in at about 43% for the U.S. EV market. 43% is what we're looking at, and I think that they were at 49% for all of last year. Wow. So it continues to erode here in the U.S.
Thank you, Phil. Phil LeBeau will turn to you, I'm sure, later on.